G'day Gooners. A very good day, I should say. And welcome to our post-match pod from the Crystal Palace game. It was 1-0 to Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. I'm here with Cal as always. Cal, how are you?
I'm great. 1-0 to the Arsenal. It was a fantastic game. I did have to watch it twice because 1 a.m. that really hit me. But yeah, got it done in the end. It was a bit of a grindy result, but yeah, another 3 points
Yeah,
on the board.
Cal didn't want to tell you guys, but actually he fell asleep during, I think, the first, what was it, the half an hour to 45? So he actually missed the goal in real
Yeah, it
time.
was like legit about 5 minutes before the Eze goal, and then about 5 minutes into the second half. But yeah, it's such a shame when you miss it because you wake up and then you see the goal and you're like, oh, didn't get to see it
Where,
live.
where were you watching it? Were you watching it like from bed or like on a sofa?
No, 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 no. Never watch it from bed. That's the thing. It was just on the lounge, like I always do. But yeah, it's just knackered day the day before. So
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of traveling.
yes, a lot of driving, which is a killer.
Well, let's get into it, Cal, because obviously another positive result, another clean sheet, 1-0 to the Arsenal, as you said. In context of the whole Premier League, obviously now we're top of the league now. I think we're ahead of Liverpool by I want to say 7 points, 7 points clear.
Yep,
You got a
some
have
points.
you got
I've got the
have you
table
got
up here, so
can
yeah,
you share your screen? Can you share your screen so
yeah, sure.
we
Um,
can have it on screen with us?
there we go. So we're
Perfect.
first with 22 points, and then Bournemouth second actually on 18. But a 4 point
Yeah,
lead. That's really good.
yeah, it's brilliant, and obviously like in context to City and Liverpool. Liverpool obviously losing their fourth game in a row, and Man City losing last night. Uh, I guess makes me feel far more comfortable than before. I mean, fair play to Bournemouth, and I woke up to a horrible Spurs win, which
Yeah.
sees them into the Champions League spots. Fair play to Thomas Frank, who's done a very good job considering the amount of injuries that Spurs have had. And Sunderland, it's unbelievable. Granit Xhaka at the helm,
Shout out to Granit Xhaka. He's
a
carrying that
hundred
team,
percent,
man.
100%. I think it honestly, what I'm seeing in the Premier League this year, sort of more than I have in previous years, is the stress of, I guess, set pieces and magical moments by individuals. Like I guess when I was younger, growing up in the noughties and sort of the 2010s, until Pep really came in, like teams just wanted to beat each other. So you saw teams going head to head, and it was super exciting. The football was expansive. But then when Pep came in, because of how good he is as a coach, like you're now seeing so many mid blocks, so many low blocks. One team who really wants to win, and the other team who really doesn't want to lose. So the space has become much smaller, and unless you have like City caliber players for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, you're not going to be able to break down these blocks in a conventional way by playing beautiful football through the lines all the time. So having the luxury of being so good at set pieces, it's a part of the game that we've spoken about quite a few times in the last couple of weeks. But having a Declan Rice, who we said last time is probably the best set piece taker in Europe at the moment, and the magical moments which I would say in previous seasons, I remember Arteta talking about specifically, we miss those magical moments, those players that when we're not playing very well can just do something out of the ordinary. I remember specifically when we played against Bayern in the Champions League. I think after that game, he came out and said that we were not necessarily the better team, but we had our chances and we weren't able to take them. So obviously the Eze goal today just came from a magical moment. I'd really like to hear your thoughts about that, Cal.
Yeah, I mean, Eze, since he's came in, it's really interesting because he's not really a player that's had to play against these low blocks, as you mentioned. For playing for Palace, he's not really used to that, and you can see he does struggle a little bit. But I'm confident in him. Like he's one of those players that he has the technical ability, he has the talent. He's gonna do well under this system. But yeah, as you said, he just brings this X factor. That's the word I like to use for it. He's
Yeah.
an X factor luxury player. He's that player that's gonna score those half chances. And today he scored that volley, and a beautiful volley as well, and another set piece. So yeah,
Yeah,
can't
it
go wrong
was
with
it
that.
was very Di esque, wasn't it? It was a little scissor kick.
Mm,
Should we jump into the first half?
let's
How
do
did you
it.
think how do you think our first half was? I mean, before you say what you think, the way I sort of split it up into the first part of the first half and the second part of the first half, I thought we sort of played differently in those spells. How did you think we started the game?
We started. It was fluid. Like we were passing well, but it was a bit sideways, a little bit backwards. It was okay. It was okay to start. Obviously, Eze was trying, but I see in your notes here. Obviously, Palace dropped into that back five fairly quickly. It's something that we expected them to do. Obviously, they have that three back, and it was really just a flat back five, and then the bank of four in front, and then Mateta up top by himself, which probably definitely made it harder for us to break it down. What do you think about
100%
about that?
100%, Cal. I think that I want to give Palace a lot of credit and Glasner a lot of credit because they're a very, very well-drilled side, probably up there with the most well-drilled sides I've seen in the Premier League play against us. We know what's coming. We know it's going to be a mid-block and it's going to be an aggressive one. But I thought they sort of deployed their tactics really well. They sort of pressed with a front three, Mateta and the two wingers next to him. And I thought that Kamada and Wharton were quite aggressive in their press as well. They were really trying to stop the ball go through those central zones of the pitch. And they were jumping at sort of the right times. I think Kamada especially really impressed me off the ball. We were sort of trying to force the ball into wide areas because I've talked about it a few times, but we sort of refused to play the ball centrally and try and progress the ball, especially without Martin Odegaard in the team. We did it once or twice for Eze, who managed to get the ball in the half turn, and we actually looked dangerous when we did it. But for the majority of that first half, we were forcing the ball into wide areas, mostly on the right. And I thought Kamada, the job that he did was amazing because as soon as Saka or Timber sort of got the ball, he was doubling, tripling up on that side, and they were overloading that side with their left-sided centre back. So it must have been, I think it was Gahey, Mitchell, and Kamada. They were all sort of overloading. They were creating a 3 versus 2 on that side to stop Saka and Timber's productivity. So even Eze had to sort of drop out of, I guess, the number 10 area and drop over to our right-hand side. I also thought tactically we set up different to how we usually set up. Usually when we're setting up in a back three, when we're trying to play out, it's usually Gabriel as the left centre-back. We have Saliba as our more central centre-back and Timber as our right centre-back, with Calafiori having the license to sort of roam in different pockets of space that he deems fit at the time. But today we sort of inverted that. So Calafiori was our left-sided centre-back, Gabriel was our central centre-back, and Saliba was our right-sided centre-back. And Timber had the license to sort of go and support Saka to try and gain that numerical advantage that we just spoke about previously. But I personally didn't think it worked very effectively. I thought we passed the ball too slowly. The ball speed was slow. The tempo was slow. And I think with both our centre backs, i.e. the traditional centre backs in Saliba and Gabriel, they didn't have enough courage on the ball, I didn't think. Now, playing devil's advocate, you could say that in previous years, they would have too much courage on the ball. They would try and force that ball centrally. Same with, I don't know, a Thomas Partey as our number 6. Would lose the ball and then would be susceptible to a counter-attack. So I guess they were sort of playing a more cautious game and trying to just play more simple. But I thought that a lot of the time, especially with Saliba playing, I guess, out of position, more of a right-sided centre-back, the angle that he was trying to make that central pass, a lot of it was sort of, he had the opportunity to play like a little diag pass through the lines into Eze, and he constantly chose not to do that. I'm not sure if that was something you noticed as well.
Honestly, I probably didn't notice it as much as you do because Mr. Ball knowledge. But it was definitely strange seeing that because we're very used to Calafiori just being everywhere, but it was more Timber taking on that role today. But with, as you mentioned, Wharton, Kamada, Mitchell sort of being on that side, and they're all strong players, why do you think Arteta opted for Timber to be the one that was free roam rather than Calafiori?
It's a good question, of which I don't really know the answer. The only logical, I guess, conclusion that I would come to is I think that Munoz is such a strong player for them on the other side that maybe trying to avoid that side and playing through that side would be a better option. Honestly, I don't know. And I personally didn't think it worked. I thought when we changed sort of the way we wanted to play after half time, we looked a lot better. But with Arteta, he always has a reason for these things. And I think we should probably move on to Saliba's performance. And after the games, Arteta made a comment about how he sort of picked up a knock and that's why he came off. For me personally, I don't think that's the reason he came off. I thought it was more of a tactical switch, because what we get with Saliba is someone who, when the ball's over his head and he's dealing with contact, he's one of the best around, right? He's very composed on the ball as well. But that courage, I think he sort of relies on his dribbling ability too much. And the difference between him and Mascara is Mascara gets the ball and he wants to play the ball fast. Even the passes to his fullbacks in the second half were the ball speed was a lot faster, and it just, I guess that helped us get out quicker. Whereas having that more, I guess, relaxed play is maybe applicable in some games, but I'm not sure it worked today. And I think that's probably why Saliba got bought off.
Yeah, I think that's due to Crystal Palace just being such a well-organised, great off-the-ball team as well. That's probably why Saliba struggled a bit. But, I mean, I hope he's not injured. I don't think he's injured after speaking with you. But Mosquera, I think we have to talk about this guy, man, because he just looks so comfortable. I mean, ever since he came on in that Liverpool game when Saliba went off injured, he does not look out of place at all. So comfortable on the ball. He already looks like he understands the system with the way we pass, the way we move. He's only 21 years old as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about it in abundance about our squad depth and the different profiles we have, even in the same position. Like a Lewis Skelly is completely different to a Calafiori. The same way I think Saliba and Mascara are quite different. I actually think Mascara probably is more similar to Gabriel in his style.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say,
Yeah. But I really like him. Very, very confident. I mean, obviously, bar the small mistake he made for the Voltemade cornered goal against Newcastle, he's been almost flawless. And I thought today he was excellent as well when he came on. It's a shame about Saliba because I really want him to sort of be that Van Dijk type defender and just patrol games. And I think what we noticed with Van Dijk when he was at his best was the diags that he can play into Salah's feet. And I remember, again, Arteta talking about that in a press conference back in, 2020, when he was saying how far off it we were and the ability that Van Dijk has at just, I guess, controlling the tempo of the game. And I guess that's where I want to see Saliba improve over the next couple of years. I know he's still young. What about the goal? Let's talk about the goal. It was, what a finish. How was it? 30? How many minutes was it in?
39, I think. Yeah, 39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get a free kick in, honestly, not even that threatening of an area, I thought. Although I think it was Pino who fouled Saka. I thought it was a silly foul.
Silly foul, yeah.
Oh, such a silly foul. So not needed. Saka was going nowhere. Talk to me, Declan Rice. Talk to me the quality and the preciseness of that delivery. Just give me your whole thoughts.
I feel like we just talk about this guy every single week in the way that it doesn't even feel like he's like a proper outfield player anymore. He feels like he just comes on. Obviously, he does a lot of work, but he just comes on and just produces these set pieces. And it's just absolutely amazing. He never puts a foot wrong, really. But the ball, it's just the way, I know we talked about it last time, but just the way it just whips, the curl. You mentioned that your father told you to just put it in the spot between the penalty and the 6-yard line. If you can get it in there, it's always going to cause problems. I forget who got the header at the back post before Eze volleyed it in.
I think it was Gabriel.
Yeah, it might Gabriel again, yeah. But yeah, Eze, I know I mentioned it before, but it just felt like he was going to score today. It's actually very interesting because when we played against Newcastle, obviously Marino scored, ex-Newcastle player. Played against West Ham, Declan Rice scored. And then today, ex-Crystal Palace player. It's a shame we don't have any ex-Burnley players, I believe, for the week. I might have to snap up one of their players before the weekend. But yeah, it just felt right, like it was so nice to see Eze get that goal. I know he scored in the EFL Cup, but getting that goal, because he's actually tried a few of those volleys from around that edge of the box. I've seen him do it about 3 or 4 times. So yeah, I'm just glad one of them went in.
What's interesting about that goal is almost exactly the same goal as he scored against us this time last year. And the ball came from a corner. And he's in that zone. He's very, very dangerous. I think that with Eze's performance, we sort of touched on it earlier. Again, I thought he had quite a quiet game. When we were able to sort of break out their press, he was given space. There was one run that he did that I think Adam Wharton made a really, really good tackle just outside the box to stop him from I guess, completing that final action. But I don't particularly like him playing more on the right hand side, because I think his passing angles aren't the same as you'd get with like a Martin Odegaard out there on his strong left foot. Saying that, I thought he worked really hard. I thought he's starting to understand the press a lot better, and he's starting to combine with Victor Gyökeres, who again I thought had a great game in terms of everything he did, his link up play, his running in behind, his general understanding of the way that we want to play. And yeah, I just think he helps us a lot. Did you rate his performance today or what?
Yeah, I really, as you mentioned with Eze, I love those little like flick-ons that he does, and it really opens up the space for Saka, Trossard, and then Martinelli when he came on as well. He's just a workhorse. Like he's always trying to do things. I know we mentioned it in the Fulham podcast, and obviously he scored 2 goals at Atletico as well. But he's just always moving. That's what I love in my striker, man. If he's just always working, like even when he doesn't score. And obviously we weren't as fluid as the Atletico game when we scored 4. But yeah, he didn't really put a foot wrong, to be honest.
I think he's really, really going to benefit when Jesus and Havertz comes back, because he's having to play every single minute at the moment. And so I'm not sure we're seeing like the very, very best of him and the most prolific, I guess, parts of his game. I think when Jesus and like, to me, today was a Jesus game. Like I know last year, I think he scored a hat-trick last year.
He did, hat-trick, yeah.
And to me, like when you've got so many defenders to occupy, but also the ability to come short and sort of link play, I think that to me sums up Jesus's best attributes. So to me, today was a Jesus game, and then I could see someone like a Gyökeres coming off the bench against a tired back three and then causing real trouble. But yeah, no, really, really good performance from him today. What about the second half? Did you? I guess we went in at halftime, 1-0 up, but I don't know how you felt. Obviously, you were asleep, so can't really talk about how you felt. But I felt very, I don't know, quite flat, even though we were 1-0 up. I was confident because I thought, okay, we've now scored, so I don't see us conceding necessarily. But yeah, it was quite a flat first half performance. What did you think needed to change in the second half?
Well, obviously I missed the first bit, but I had a little watch of it just before. But we did actually make a good chance early in the second half. I believe it was Gabriel smashed against the crossbar, and then Declan Rice couldn't get the follow-up. But yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts about how we started that second half, because obviously tactical switch, Mosquera came on. We discussed that earlier, but how do you think our play all round actually changed going into that second half?
I think we looked far more fluid. We in the first half we spoke about how Timber was that fluid fullback. He could sort of do what he wanted on that right-hand side. In the second half, both of them had license to sort of roam in different areas in terms of Calafiori and Timber. And one of our defensive-minded midfielders would drop in. I think mostly it was Zubimendi who would drop in as that third centre-back. And that gave us a whole different, I guess, dimension to the way we played. All of a sudden, Trossard was getting involved far more in more central areas. He was trying that through the legs ball that he tries 50 million times a game, but he actually worked to a ball to Declan Rice. We got set pieces, and obviously set pieces lead to danger, and that chance obviously came as well. So the first 20 minutes of the second half, I thought we actually played really well, and we probably should have scored a goal to kill the game off. The last 25 minutes, though, I wouldn't say I was worried. I think interesting that Saka came off after about 60 minutes. I thought that was probably injury related.
I did see. I don't think it actually was an injury. I saw Arteta. He was saying he was ill, so I think it must have been like a cold or something like that. So right. I don't think we should be too worried about that. But it does make sense looking back on it in hindsight, though. Yeah,
and even Martinelli coming on that right-hand side on his right foot gave us something slightly different. But I don't think we looked particularly potent when Saka came off. But having said that, we need to talk about just our defensive resilience, and we've hardly conceded a goal all season. Three goals in the league. It's been, I don't know, it was over 5 hours of football without conceding a chance, like a chance on goal.
I think it was 8. I think it was 8 hours actually. I'm pretty sure I heard the commentator. Yeah.
There you go. I know they had one shot on target, but I think that came from
what a shot from Nketiah as well.
Yeah, a cross, and then Nketiah, like, I don't know, he sort of headed it
deflection or something. Yeah,
into Raya's hands. But talk to me about how, I guess, good we are when it comes to our defensive shape and our defensive resilience.
Yeah, it's weird because you're saying that you're worried, but you weren't worried. I think that's the best way to actually sum it up. I feel
Yeah.
like in previous seasons, we're always susceptible to leaking a few goals in at the end. But this season, we didn't even defend like that good, but we're just too solid at the moment that, and Hincapié as well came on. But yeah, we're just too solid that it didn't even look like a threat at all, to be honest. Like they didn't really have any chances, no chances actually on target at least, besides the
Yeah.
Nketiah one.
Yeah, 100%. To be fair to Nketiah, I thought he brought them a lot of energy when he came
Yeah,
on.
I think so
Obviously, the
as well.
quality, you can tell that the quality is just still not there. Like there was one opportunity where I think maybe it was Sarr or Mitchell sort of had the ball on the left-hand side and he was in the pocket and the ball came into him and it just bounced off his foot. And you're just thinking from a Palace
Yeah,
point of view, God, that must be so frustrating. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with that anymore.
yeah,
But I thought he came on and he sort of gave himself a good account of, which is it's nice for him. I like Eddie. You know, he wasn't a technically brilliant player, but came through the youth team and yeah, hail them mad. Fair play
gotta
to him.
respect it. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think that the bigger picture, I look at, I mean, in the media, we're being compared to all these different teams. I mean, different pundits saying how boring we are. I know Jamie O'Hara, obviously, he used to play for Spurs, so he's got a bias there, but he hates the way we play. But then you got your Carragher's and your Nevilles saying that we're now favourites, but Liverpool, from a Carragher perspective, Liverpool are leaking too many goals, but then we're playing too pragmatically. To me, I think that what's interesting, and hopefully we go on to win this league. I think we now have the tools to do so. I'm not going to say we're going to win the league, but I think we do have the tools to do it. And you look at other champions and they all have their own, I guess, thing. The Mourinho team, the Chelsea Mourinho team of 2000, I think 04, 05 and 05, 06. Yeah. They had the most incredible defensive record, similar to the way that we are trying to win it. They've got the record, I think 15 goals they conceded in the league.
15.
You've obviously got the Pep teams and the Sir Alex teams, and the Pep teams play magical football. The Liverpool Klopp teams play really exciting, counter-attacking, fast football. You've got your Sir Alex teams who are built on the class of 92 and obviously all the hard work. And I look at those northern teams, the Liverpools and the Uniteds. And obviously, like in terms of their cities, they are like sort of working class, hard-working cities, right? So English football has sort of been bred on that working hard sort of mantra. So I find it really difficult to understand why people are really not appreciating what we're doing in terms of our defensive quality. Like building a good attack and a really potent, skillful attack based on a lot of talent is difficult enough. But building a whole team and a whole squad who are also committed to their defensive responsibility and do it the way that we do is so difficult. So like, I think if we go on to win the title and we do it in the way that we are doing it, Mikel has to really, really be looked on as one of the best managers in the Premier League, period. Obviously, not many managers have won the Premier League. So like he will by default be part of that mold. But it really sums up sort of Arteta as a coach and how pragmatic he is if we go on to win the league like this.
I think it's very interesting that you said that because we were talking about different styles that these teams have won the league, but I feel like we've kind of had that without winning the league. Obviously 22-23, exciting football. If we won the league that year, be a completely different story. 23-24, scored a boatload of goals. And now I think Arteta's really just shifted I think it's just a mindset shift and just what he's prioritizing. Obviously, we had those fluid attacks and they're still there in phases and they will come as well throughout the season. But it really is clear that he's really trying to hammer down on this defense. And it's even just obvious by these signings he's making as well. I mean, we've got like, 8 to 10 solid defenders that can all just come in and do a job. So it's really, really exciting to be an Arsenal fan at the moment.
And to be honest with you, I really don't mind that that's the way that we're winning. I just think it's the way that football sort of in the Premier League has sort of moved on and who we come up against. I also think that we probably won't play this way for the whole season. I think that especially when Martin Odegaard comes back, for me, there is a piece of the jigsaw still missing. I know there's more than just him being injured, but to me, he's the heartbeat of Arsenal and the way that Arteta wants to play. He is the coach. He's the
He's the
captain.
captain, yeah.
He's the coach on the pitch. To me, like every single instruction that you think that Arteta gives them, he's the one who makes it happen. So yeah, I think we really do miss him. As well as, I mean, how good would it have been today to have a Madueke come on when Saka comes off, or to have Havertz and a Jesus to bring on when Gyökeres gets tired. But hopefully that will all come. Hopefully that will all come.
Yeah, and just circling back, I mean, it is really exciting, and we didn't even mention Wanyeri at all. He didn't play, but obviously Martinelli came on that right hand side, a position that he's not really used to playing. He's usually on the left or maybe a little bit centrally as well. Do you think Wanyeri should have been given a chance on that right hand side?
I think when it comes to the substitutions Arteta makes, it's like a zero-sum game. Like, you go on to win the game, you can't really complain about the subs, right? I feel bad for him because obviously he signed a new contract. He's a young kid, did well last season when Saka was out. But I think they see him more as a central player, and I would say probably the same. And I think obviously we've got a game midweek. I think he'll be given his minutes in that. The same with Norgard. I think Mars will start in that game as well. So I think because you play every 3 games at the moment, you have to rotate the squad, and it's just the way it is. Some games you won't get any minutes. Some games you'll get a lot of minutes. Some games you'll play the 90. It's just the way it is. And in a successful squad, that's how you win. So you got to just sort of, I guess, bite your pride a little bit, sit on the bench. He's still really young.
Still so young, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, if I was him, I'd be feeling pretty aggrieved, especially because Saka came off. But what can you do? Should we move on to our player ratings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do some player ratings. I think it's a segment that we wanted to introduce at the end of each podcast, each post-match podcast. So without further ado, let's get into it. David Raya, what do you reckon?
Well, he didn't have to do much today. Obviously, he had to save that worldy shot from Nketiah towards the end of the game. That was on target. But I mean, he didn't have to do anything really. It was like a library for him. I'd say maybe give him an 8.
Yeah, I would say probably 7. 7 didn't do much wrong. Claimed his crosses quite well, cleared his lines quite well, and yeah, played out pretty quickly. That was also a little, I guess, a tactical switch. Usually, like, he'll sort of roll the ball to Gabriel when we're trying to play out from a goal kick, and then Gabriel will put the ball down and we'll play. But today, he just put the ball down and played the ball straight to Saliba. So I think that was slightly different way of playing out. But yeah, he seems just pretty normal, pretty good performance. 7 out of 10 from me, 8 out of 10 from you. Fair enough. Jurrien Timber.
I mean, he's always so solid, so strong. Played a different role today. Probably give him an 8 as well, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding today. I thought one of the best performances I've seen from him. Honestly, he's so powerful. He's so strong. He's a leader. He's so, I don't know, defensively, like, I don't know, compact, and he makes his tackles. No one really goes past him. He also supports Saka. I mean, there was one bit of skill that he did in the first half. He had sort of like 4 players on him, and he managed to win a free kick. And I just couldn't believe the technical level that guy's got. So I would say probably an 8.5. I'd push a 9, honestly. Like, he has probably quite a good shout for man of the match for me. What about Saliba?
I feel like it wasn't his best game. Obviously, he only played at half time. I might have to give him a little bit out of position, as we mentioned before. Probably have to give him 5.5, 6, I think. Probably 6.
Yeah.
I mean, he can see the goal, so I'll give him a 6. So
yeah, agreed. And Gabriel?
This guy, man, he's so good. He's so good. I have to give an 8 as well, I think. I think our whole backline is in between, besides Saliba, between 8, 9, to be honest.
Yeah, like, he's slowly becoming our like most important player, which is incredible. So yeah, no, he would get probably an 8 from me as well. Calafiori?
I mean, it's hard not to give him an 8, to be honest. I mean, it's not much difference really. Him and Gabriel were really good on that side together. So yeah, no goals conceded as well. That's the most important thing for me. Obviously, probably could have helped a little bit more in attack. He wasn't as free roaming, but that's just a tactical thing, so it's not really his fault.
Yeah, I'd probably give him a 7. I don't think he was quite as good as he usually is, or as good as Gabriel or Timber were. But yeah, still clean sheet. Zubimendi.
I want to know what you think because I feel like it was a different performance from him today.
I
Like
thought he was poor. I thought he was poor today.
yeah,
I mean,
he
yeah,
had to drop. He had to drop very deep.
I just thought his passing was quite poor. He gave the ball away a few times in quite
Mm,
poor areas. He got better in the second half, I would say,
yeah.
but the first half performance, unfortunately, means I can only really give him a 6.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 6.
What about Declan Rice?
Again, just like Gyökeres, workhorse. He always tries his best.
Monster.
He's everywhere on the field. Obviously, that free kick is what led to the goal. So you have to give him a good score for that. I'd probably say between a 7 and an 8. I think maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he
100%.
set up the goal, so I'll give him an 8. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, eight from me as well. I thought he was everywhere. I thought this was one of his better games. I thought everything, whether it was in the air or on the floor, he was always first to it. He pressed high, won the ball high. He was just a monster. He is so important to the way that we want to play, and he's obviously a leader as well. So yeah, an 8 from me. Barry Eze.
It's an interesting one because obviously not his best game, but he did get the goal. That's the
Yeah,
difference. And he played. He played the full 90, right? Pretty sure he did. Unless maybe he got subbed off right at the end, but I'm pretty sure he played the full
yeah,
90. So I mean,
yeah.
that's.
I think you might be right. Let me just check quickly because I don't want to be wrong about this.
I mean, when
No,
Yeri
he
didn't
came.
come. Oh,
He came off. He came off for Miles in the 88th minute.
okay, so
So
almost the
yeah,
full
he
90.
basically yeah
He did score the goal. He's still getting used to this team. I think for the goal alone, I'm gonna have to give him a 7.
yeah yeah 7. It's always difficult to play against your old team, especially like a team he's so fond of. You could tell he
Yeah.
has a bigger like, emotional attachment to Palace. And I've seen like Deckers play against West Ham in previous years and have stinkers. So fair play to him. He came, he saw, he conquered, came away with the 3 points and a goal. So yeah, he would probably get like a 7 or an 8 from me. Who is up next? Bukayo Saka.
Oh, obviously we now know that he was ill going into the game. So at the time, I didn't know that. At least I knew he was a bit of a concern to go into the game, but you could tell he wasn't fully himself today.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm gonna have to give him probably a 6. He'll come back. He'll
Agreed.
come back.
Yeah, definite 6. Leandro Trossard.
Oh, I think he played. I think he played better in the second half. For
Yeah,
sure. I mean, if this was last week against the Fulham game, I don't think he played good at all, but he got that goal that saved him. Obviously, today he didn't get the goal, but he was pretty solid. He was pretty solid. I'll give him. He was better than Saka, so I'll give him a 7.
yeah. I think probably a 6.5, 7 is probably quite fair for him. I'd like to see him involved more in games. I think he's got so much ability, but he doesn't necessarily get the ball as often as I would like him to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did okay. He did okay. And Gyökeres?
Gyökeres, no goals this time, but always works so hard. I do think, besides taking the goals away from the Atletico game, I still think his all round performance against Atletico was better. But I'd probably have to say maybe 7.5. I think maybe an
Yeah,
8.
see,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd probably agree with you. I actually thought his hold up play today was a lot better than he was against Atletico. I thought everything was sticking today. I thought when he
Mm.
ran the channels, I thought he was just causing nuisance, causing mischief out there. One thing with him, and I'm not sure if it's a him problem or just a situation problem, is like the ball doesn't really seem to sit for him very well. Like there was one
Mm.
chance towards the end of the game where the ball sort of went through the middle and it looked like he could have been in on goal, and the ball sort of bounced and it just like didn't really. I'm not sure if he could have like sort of put his foot on top of the ball to sort of push it away and then carry on going, but yeah, it doesn't sit for him in the same way. I don't know, it sits for other strikers, but maybe that's just because he was tired and maybe
Maybe we can blame the ball.
yeah, yeah, blame the weather. Why not? Blame the ball, blame the weather. What about Mascara?
Mascara art class, I think. He does not
Yeah,
look out of place. I know we touched on him earlier, but I mean, clean sheet. He's so young. Replacing Saliba as well. I'm going to give him a 9. I think
love
he's
it.
outstanding.
I probably won't go as high as a 9,
He
but
did make
I'd
that
say
mistake though, yeah.
I'd say probably an 8.
Yeah.
But I thought he was very good, very very good.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
Martinelli would have preferred to see him down the left or through the middle, but I think he was better than previous times we've seen him down the right. There was that one
Yeah,
point
true.
where he tried to, I believe it was Gyökeres to Eze, and then Eze took it straight to Martinelli, and he tried to get that low cross into Gyökeres. It just didn't work out. But that's the things I like to see.
Yeah.
Probably give him a 7.
Yeah, I think what you always get with Martinelli is his work rate,
Yeah.
and the game state sort of needed him to help out his fullback quite a lot. So yeah, I thought he did well. I thought actually right at the end there was a ball that got played over the top, and Will Hughes was like pulling him back, but I think we
Mm.
got a free kick. I think further back in that action, but I think that would have been interesting if the ref had let it go because I think he would have gotten to the end of it. But yeah, probably a 7 out of 10 for me. Marino. I mean, we didn't really see a lot from
Not
Marino,
much,
but
yeah. I
I'd
mean,
probably give him a 5 just because, yeah, standard.
we won the game. I'll give him a 5.5.
Yeah, and I'd say the same with Miles. Didn't
Yeah.
really see enough of Miles. Hincapié I quite liked. I thought he was aggressive in his
Yeah.
I guess heading the ball. I think he even took out Gabriel at one stage to get a ball away. And yeah, he showed quite a lot of passion. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10.
I'm very excited to see. I'm assuming he's going to start on Wednesday. I would want him to. So I'm very excited to
Yeah,
see how he's going to go. I'm sure we're going to talk all about him on that podcast. So excited for that.
100%, 100%. On that note, I reckon it's probably quite a good time for us to wrap up. Um, yeah, massive 3 points. We move on. We march on. 4 points clear at the top of the table now. 9 games played, 3 goals conceded. And yeah, 6 clean sheets in 9 games. Very impressive. Thank you all for listening. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. And yeah, I guess just join us, join the community. It's really exciting. We've had such good, I guess, I don't know, we've had good response to what we've been doing, and we're really grateful for all the support. So yeah, don't forget to have a good day, Gooners.
Thanks, guys. Just want to touch on that. The support has been so good. And just remember, we're on Instagram, TikTok, we're on all the platforms. So all the links will be in the description as well. So you can go and follow us there. Yeah, we're gonna have some clips up there as well. They're always a treat to watch. So yeah, and we're gonna be moving on to the Brighton game, EFL Cup, on Thursday. So we'll see you there for a preview, sorry, and then the post match as well. So yeah, looking forward to it, and have a good day, Gooners.